What is required when you have guerrilla warfare, which is what they are doing, it's called guerrilla warfare. It's a warfare where you are not organized, they are not organized, and you too will have to handle it in the same way they are doing it. There have got to be some ambushes here and there. Got to be a lot of surveillance, both in the air and on the ground. And there've got to be also a serious attack on the enemy, the insurgents themselves. An organized attack is very, very necessary. I have also said this. Where you have such going on, you have to be ready to have some innocent ones involved. It isn't that you want to kill any innocent person, but in order to ensure that you curb the problem and annihilate it, at times, innocent people might have been involved. There is a need to completely clear certain areas where they are. As long as you know that they are there, you just have to clear that area.
What do you mean by clear?
Clear by meaning you kill whoever you find there. There are some who may not be part of them. But in most cases, as you see them going right now, they go in packets, in groups. And there are, of course, a lot of sympathizers, people who sympathize for them. A sympathizer of Boko Haram is a Boko Haram. So what to do is to clear them. What to do is to get rid of them. I had mentioned this, that if you have in your farm some weeds, and these weeds are making your crops to be destroyed, you just have to destroy the weeds altogether. Where you cannot pinpoint the weeds and remove them, you have to remove both the weeds and whatever the grain, and you have to burn them so that the few that are on their own can survive. That's the way to go about it.
Does it suggest to you that President Muhammadu Buhari's intentions in selecting the crop of army chiefs will do away with Boko Haram once and for all?
It is not who becomes a chief, but there is a new Sarki. That's Muhammadu Buhari. There's a new leader. The new leader is Muhammadu Buhari. General Muhammadu Buhari, being a new leader, needs also to have new followers, including followers, especially in the defense. Defense, like you know, is, if not the most important, I will call it the most important of the ministries. Because without peace and quietness and calmness in a nation, very little can be done. So defense is a prime ministry. And I'm so happy that he started with defense. As to whether those guys that were there before are better than these ones, or vice versa, it depends on what we see the new ones coming up to do. Those ones have done their own. Some might have done well. Some might not have done well. It's a bygone. What's important now is to focus on the people who are now given these appointments. And our prayer and hope is that they take it seriously. Because without security in a nation, all that you are doing will be on falsehood. There is nothing that will be done in this country if the security is not tight, and if the security is nothing to write home about. So far, our security is still dangling. Our security in Nigeria is still not stable. No one can call it stable.
What are your expectations of the new service chiefs that have just been appointed by President Muhammadu Buhari?
My expectation is that I see something better. My expectation is to see that the insurgency is eliminated in as short a time as possible. I expect something much better than what we have seen in the past, definitely. First of all, I don't think their promotion and appointment was sentimental. Many believed that the former ones had a lot of sentiments. Because I said it in 2013, I think it was, or 2012, before I went to India on a treatment, I did mention this, that that problem would have been contained if we had a military leader. We now have a military leader. You know, in all fairness to Goodluck Jonathan, he wasn't a military man. And therefore, whatever the military advisors told him, he would have to comply with it. He didn't have a choice. Now we have a leader who has a choice. Now we have a leader who knows what to do, because he happens to be a military officer. And I want to see a big difference between the former leadership, as far as security is concerned, with the present leadership. There've got to be some big difference.
But do you have confidence that with someone from your area, you know the minds of your people? Do you feel this is a step that will further curtail or contain the activities of Boko Haram?
It's excellent, because all along, the army chiefs that existed right from the time Boko Haram started had always come from other parts of the country. Now we have gotten the son of the soil who knows the intrigues of his own people, because he's from Borno State, and I am certain that he is going to be equal to the task. This time, we expect to see a big change in the insurgency issue.
Do you think the Senate will oppose any of this appointment?
I hope not. I hope not, because it will be fair if they do. However, there was a little lapse. The advisors of His Excellency, the President, ought to have actually advised him that he should have given the names of the new appointees to the Senate for approval before it was even announced. That was the little hitch, the little problem that occurred. But that is not to say that it cannot be amended.
So we shouldn't be concerned about that?
Well, some may be concerned, but to me, it's not a big concern, because I believe the Senate should be matured enough to know that it's a lapse. Something has gone wrong. Someone was supposed to speak to Mr. President about this. These names ought to be given to the Senate and to the House of Representatives so that they can, if they so wish, interview them first before giving them that. Or just endorse them. But that was not done. So there is a lapse there. But like I said, it is not something that is so bad that could bring any problem. I believe it can be sorted out amicably between the executive arm of the government and the legislative arm of the government.
I want to thank you so much indeed.
Thank you very much again.
Andrew,
yes, please.
for giving us your thoughts.
I'm most grateful. I'm most grateful. And Channels happens to be one of my most favorite television stations.
We appreciate it.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Interesting time we had with the Colonel in Abuja. One thing is certain, the appointment of Nigeria's new army chief raises the stakes against the insurgents in Nigeria's northeast, him having come from that region and knows it all too well. The coming days and weeks will tell us well how the army chief is progressing, and that's how it's been on Roadmap. I'm Gimba Umar. Join us again.